All right, Ashley, the question we constantly get is the classroom. What is the classroom like? How much classroom is there? What's that format look like?
We're going to run an hour a day for about 3 months. But we're not going to add any goofiness to your classroom. It's going to be 100% industry. Safety, welding, boiler making, pipe fitting, nothing you need that's not industry in our classroom.
Yeah, and we follow the NCCER curriculum set. I'm a practicing teacher myself, nationally board certified. Everything is packed and ready, understandable for our demographic, correct? I mean, we're geared up and ready to go, and that is the National Center for Construction, Education, and Research. It sounds pretty legit to me, Ashley. Is that a pretty big?
Yeah. In some places, somebody will say, well, I don't know who NCCER is. Well, those guys just aren't big enough. Your top big companies, Floor, Bechtel, just to name a couple, they know who NCCER is, and they're paying more money for those NCCER trained and certified welders coming out of KWI.
Exactly. So with the NCCER classroom, I'm going to get an NCCER blue card.
Right.
Which has all my training transcripts on it. Every module I've taken, it's recorded on it.
Right, and it's the same. So whether you train in Kentucky or maybe you pick up another module 2 years from now in California, it's the same training and it's always uploaded so that contractor can look and maybe you get to skip some orientation time because you've already had NCCER training on your blue card.
Yeah, and you should feel comfortable. If you're union or not, I guess union actually uses, this curriculum was designed essentially for that apprenticeship program. It is an extensive curriculum. So we tackle it 1 hour a day for the first 12 weeks you're there.
Yes.
And I'm sitting down and I am with an instructor and I am hearing lecture and I've got some hands-on portions. I mean, we're still getting dirty, are we?
That's right. You know, you can study ahead. We've got platforms that you can study ahead, prepare ahead, quiz ahead. But you're going to take the test just like a weld test in front of a CWI. You're taking your written test to qualify for NCCER in front of a certified NCCER instructor.
Now, I went to the schoolhouse. I went to college, Ashley, and I do know that there are some platforms out there that it's maybe Blackboard or Adobe Breeze, Canvas, that are 100% online classes. And I'm going to go ahead and share a secret with you, Ashley. Those were the classes I always knew were the easy A. You know, if I'm at the house, I can pull up 2 screens. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a cheater, but just think of the opportunities that are available if I'm all by myself passing this course. That's not how it is at KWI.
Well, it goes to your integrity. You know, if your integrity is there, then you're going to do that and work legit at home like we sure you did. But at KWI, you got to prove it. You got to do that test and qualify that in front of an instructor.
As a matter of fact, that's the NCCER's policy. Those written exams that we take, online or written, are always in front of an NCCER instructor, correct?
Right.
In God we trust. Everybody else takes their tests in front of us.
That's right. At KWI, live testing in front of the instructor.
And that's just like how it is on a weld test. Do you want to go to a school that allows you to take all your curriculum at the house? Maybe if you're one of those students that didn't like high school. A lot of our guys don't like high school, but honestly, don't you want to be knowledgeable about the industry that you're about to enter? Don't you want to know what you're talking about? So it takes a little bit of brain knowledge up top. Not everything is tactile and hands-on. You need to know what the danger marks are on your assailant. Don't turn past 15. You need to know ANSI Z87.1. You need to have some background knowledge, right?
Right. That safety goes way in the industry. If you want to be on your tools the rest of your career, that's cool. I know a lot of guys that do that, a lot of guys that still do that. But if you want to advance a little bit, maybe you want to manage, maybe you want to be a foreman, maybe you want to own the company, you got to have some of that knowledge that leads more in depth into welding. It's more than just throwing a spark. What do those numbers mean on the rod? What's it like to read a WPS? All those various things. Weld quality, hey, maybe you want to be a CWI. Bobby's a CWI, so am I. You want to be a CWI, NCCER is a great start to get you down that path because all of the knowledge that we train on in those first 12 weeks, I guarantee you, AWS is going to test you on that for Part C of your CWI exam.
Right, and that's actually how we warm up our instructors to go to their CWI exam is we make them start teaching the NCCER content. It's the best way to brush up because, make no mistakes, the CWI test is a book knowledge test. You're not going to be able to play dummy and get past those 3 2-hour exams, Part A, B, and C, without a little bit of study.
Right. So Bobby, in NCCER wise, we've hit the blue card. We know that's training side of the house. what's the next step for NCCER?
Hey, there's silver cards, which means that you've been verified and validated. You've taken a written exam. Again, we're back to that written exam thing in front of a proctor, and there's practicals down the shop too, right? I got to prove both ways. Just like it is on the blue card side, I've got to pass a written exam, and then I have to pass a practical showing that I can do the hands-on. So it's bringing those two beasts together, that head knowledge and that hand knowledge, bring those together. And then after that, so lots of crafts have silver cards. Welding does not actually have a silver card, so that may throw you for a loop. But the NCCR allows the American Welding Society to capitalize, to take care of that, and we do that. We're an accredited testing facility with the AWS. So if you want to be the best as far as credential out and get certifications, it's the American Welding Society. Even NCCR bows down to the AWS on that side. But there is a gold card. The gold card would be for crane operations. Right. So crane operators, rigger, and signal. And so all three of those cards, pretty important. And again, you get all that curriculum with the Kentucky Welding Institute and that NCCR backed, tried and true curriculum. Yeah.
Right. The hands-on training is unmatched. Those skills, when you got to throw down, not only for that knowledge test, you got to know what you're talking about. You got to show what you're talking about. And in some cases, that's tough. It may be a 2 or 3 day exam for the Boilermaker silver card certification, but then your big companies, they're going to recognize that. It's going to boost your pay up.
Yeah. So and it's not like I'm saying, hey, I'm graduating from a school in Florida, or I'm graduating from a school in Kansas, and that contractor, whatever, they don't know what that means. But if you say, hey, I've got a blue card, NCCR, and they scan that like a credit card or type your number in, they can see all the training transcripts. So it means the exact same thing. Welder level 1, welder level 3 means the same thing in Washington State as it does in Florida. Same thing in Maine as it does in California. The exact same. So those companies feel good about that. That's why those big dogs are paying serious dollars, because the NCCR is a nonprofit.
That's right.
They're not charged. I mean, it's a nonprofit. So I guess the big question is, why aren't other schools doing the NCCR curriculum?
Right, I don't know. It is time consuming for the instructor to train and be an NCCR instructor, yes, but the rewards are so great for the student, the rewards that they get, so much we give back to get those students that blue card.
Yeah, and it costs KWI a little bit of money. I mean, there's the NCCR audits us, is that correct? So they're going to come up and spend a couple days there with us, checking our records, checking our curriculum, checking our policies, our procedures, watching us give exams. Like, everything's pretty tight. So maybe a reason I'm not doing the NCCR curriculum is because I'm a little worried about that.
I mean, playing it loose?
Playing it loose. Other schools can just do what they want, I guess, and they're not held to a high standard like we are at the Kentucky Welding Institute.
Yeah, with NCCR and all of our other accrediting agencies, we are held to that gold standard level.
Yeah, and that's where you want to be, right? I mean, I think you want to go to a school and you want to be part of the best. So why wouldn't you want to be held to that higher standard? If you know your craft, if you know, then go ahead and take this written exam on plasma cutting, on oxy-fuel, on stainless steel. If you know your craft, then throw down with both your brain knowledge and your hand knowledge down the shop. I don't know why I would want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, and you mentioned hand knowledge down the shop. The NCCR not only is a written test, I don't think it's all pencil and paper. Once I take the written test on plasma cutting, then I've got to go down the shop at some point. I've got to prove that I can set up, operate, and safely use a plasma cutter. So just like the certification card where it's 2 parts, that training is also 2 parts. The written knowledge and the performance profiles that verify, hey, I can do this.
Now there's a lot of stuff going to the online, I guess, and just coming out of a COVID year, I know NTI, non-traditional instruction, is kind of taken over. But man, we still really slow down during our math module, do we not?
We're all right, yes, you have to.
The math module is a big one, and I don't think it's a place that you can learn maybe on Canvas or Blackboard or something like that, those online. It really takes probably a good KWI instructor or somebody with that NCCR background knowledge to show you, and we do pipe math. We do takeoffs. I mean, we're doing rolling offsets and figuring that stuff out. I mean, so that is a lot of complicated math work for our guys. But that's the kind of stuff you want to know. Again, you want to be knowledgeable about your craft going out into the industry.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned math. We break it down, we simplify it. We train some of the old school methods for teaching math and using math. As a matter of fact, I'm proud to say we have not had one single student fail the NCCR math test before graduating KWI. And that's a big accomplishment.
It is. And what we don't know, or what we haven't shared, is that you're not allowed to have a calculator.
Right. It's got to be done pencil and paper, work it out. Hey, if you're smart, you know what 2 + 2 is, or what 1/2 minus 1/4 is. You don't have to show them your work like 6th grade. But if you don't, you can't punch that into your phone, because some companies, you're not going to be allowed to have that phone out of your truck. So you got to depend on your knowledge up here.
There you go. There you go. So again, I don't know why you wouldn't want to go to the Kentucky Welding Institute and be held to those high standards. And again, just be knowledgeable. If you're entering this welding industry, this craft, you want to be proud of that. You want to know your craft. So why wouldn't you want to study, research, pass tests, and be all knowledgeable?
Right.